Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome to another episode of the Quack Report. My name is Carter, and I'm joined by Nate, where on this episode, we will talk about the Ducks and the Bruins, and the Anaheim Ducks just in general, and the reverse retro jerseys as well, because those got dropped. So we're going to be going a little bit more in depth on the Anaheim one than we did on our previous episode, since that was recorded Wednesday evening, just before the jerseys dropped. So we speculated.
We tease about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about your mock-up, which was like, wasn't that? No, that was the 100% right. You got it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I was saying that it was going to be the collar. It's whenever I try to predict things, it's always the collar that's off. And yeah, I got it right. So I was very happy with that.
Yeah. Nice. Good job.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah. I mean, you got some of the other ones good too, because you did like Calgary, Edmonton mock-ups and a few other teams, and like you got a lot of those ones right too, and it was just the collar, like you said.
The Calgary and Edmonton ones were kind of funny because Edmonton's I had made before the first ones even came out. It was just like, oh, this would be cool to see, because I think they were already unveiled at that point. Oh, no, they weren't yet. But I was just like, oh, this would be a fun idea.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was the collar that was off. But I guess I thought of it a bit more as like, oh, if they brought this back as an alternate rather than a reverse retro, I think was the idea of it.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because in the collar I'd put for Colby.
Right.
Because that was after Colby Cave passed away. Yeah.
Oh,
and the Calgary one was before we knew the retro program was coming back. Before I even knew. And yeah, that was just like if it came back, this would be a fun idea. And I was only off by, I think it was like the bottom sleeve stripe and like the hem of the collar. So yeah, so I was pretty happy with some of those. Just like, oh, okay, sweet. Like we're all on the same mind track here of what we maybe want to see. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that is cool. Yeah, before we get into the game here, also, I should just clarify right off the bat, we're recording this before the Detroit and Anaheim game on Sunday afternoon. So we will be pushing that conversation to Wednesday, our Thursday episode there. So unless like something wild happens, in which case we might do a quick little
insert.
Let's insert this in here. But yeah, we'll just push in that conversation just to make room for the reverse retros, because I think that's probably going to be a little bit of a more exciting and bigger conversation than the game against the Red Wings. But you never know. Could be cool. So
yeah, and some of the stuff in the Red Wings game might carry over into our discussion about the Tampa game as well. So
yeah, exactly. Which we can say as well, we will be doing another watch along for that on the THPN YouTube channel. So you can follow that, the Hockey Podcast Network YouTube channel there. We'll be doing a live watch along for the Tampa Bay Lightning and Ducks game this Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, hang out, send a few chat messages, and yeah, it's just overall a good time. We don't show the game, but we watch it live. We have some stats up on the side so that you can sync it with your game there, and then it's just a great community. We get lots of good questions, lots of good engagement. The one we did to start the season was a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, especially with the comeback win there. So
I'm excited with the reverse retro talk and all that, like that we're going to do today, but like how fresh it is. I'm excited specifically for all the questions that Donnell is going to have in that live chat if he's on there. So
yeah, he loves to get the jersey talk going. So that's that'll be good.
It was much to my pleasure as well to see him as some of you may know, I'm also part of Aesthetics with their talkback crew, which I'm thinking we'll probably do another episode for the reverse retros. I haven't heard anything yet about us trying to get together or that yet, but I'm sure that'll be on its way as well. But yeah, Chris from Aesthetics there was up at 7:30 Pacific for the 8 a.m. drop of all of these jerseys to live stream on YouTube for his channel. It warmed my heart to see Donnell in the chat actually there as well. So
nice,
Donnell
that's
loves
awesome.
His jerseys just as much as I do.
yeah, that's cool. What else was? Oh yes, and then after that, watch along, we'll be going live on our YouTube channel, which if you're watching the video,
Yes.
you already know where to be. So this isn't for you, but for the people that don't know and just want some live post-game reaction and some good engagement, the Quack Report on YouTube. Actually, I think it might be at Quack Report Pod by then, because YouTube is doing handles now like Twitter.
Yeah,
and
I'm
that sort of
keeping
stuff.
an eye on the email for as soon as that becomes available for us. So
Yeah, but either way, we're pretty easy to find on YouTube there, and links are all over episodes and our social media. So you can find us on there, no problem, if you found this episode. But we'll be going live like 5 minutes after the game is over, just to break down the game, give our thoughts, reactions, and all that stuff, just like we normally do. It's just going to be live. So, and then the rest of the episode will accompany that on Thursday morning, when everything else is along with everything else. So it won't be immediately after the game like our usual live streams, but you'll still get the same discussion just on Thursday morning for everything that doesn't involve the Tampa Bay Lightning game. So hope that clears everything up. I think that's all of the housekeeping. Oh no, also down in the description of this podcast, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcasting platform, a couple of links. One for a feedback form. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns with the Quack Report, we would love to hear about that. And also, merch store. We've got some merch. Nate is still working on a very cool design that I don't know anything about yet, but it should be coming very, very soon. So keep an eye out on that.
I'm trying to have it for this week. Schoolwork and
it takes priority, obviously.
Schoolwork and appearances on other shows has been kind of the thing this week for me.
Yeah, you're a popular guy.
Yeah, I think it was Tuesday I appeared on Flames Unfiltered with Brad Bird there. Wednesday we did our show as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, as the Flames game started, Audie James, who was on the Barn Burner hockey podcast that was part of THPN, he's now doing Game Over Calgary with the SDPN there, the Steve Dangle Podcast Network, and asked if I wanted to be if I could come on and be his co-host for that episode, as his usual co-host Peter Klein wasn't able to. So a little last minute, but I was totally down for it. So that was really fun to do. And then Friday I hopped on with Neil from the Devil's State of Mind podcast here on the network. If you watch the watch alongs, you definitely know who Neil is. He loves to do those things and he does great work doing it.
Yeah.
And we did a reverse retro ranking as well. I found out as we were doing that stream on Twitter that apparently I am our boss, Dylan, apparently calls me I think it's like the Jersey connoisseur for the network or something like that. So it's kind of laughing at that. I didn't realize. So, but
that's the nice way of saying Jersey geek.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then, I think next week as well, I'm going to hop on Tendy Talk there, which is another show on the network here. So yeah, it's been busy for appearances, but it's a good time. So, and Carter, I know for you specifically as well, Audie wants to bring us both on at some point, so we can talk about that a bit more after.
Oh yeah, for for a Ducks thing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but like with Game Over though. So I know
cool.
He'd like to do that. So
yeah, sounds good. I'm down. We'll let everyone else know when that happens. So
yeah, we're getting out there, everybody.
Yeah. So oh yes, I wanted to ask you, just because Halloween's coming up, and then we'll get into the Ducks game. So just a quick conversation here. I mean, I know what you're doing for Halloween, but what are you doing for Halloween, Nate?
My girlfriend and I are dressing up as Cosmo and Wanda from the Fairly Odd Parents. And
you changed it.
Oh, what did you?
You told me Fat Thor and Black Widow.
Oh, that's what I was wanting to do. But it kind of got kiboshed. I think it was the girlfriend put out a poll on her social media, and it was it was Fat Thor and Black Widow. Cosmo and Wanda, and what was it? Like grandparents, like grandpa and grandpa kind of thing. Like just like dress up as old versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
Basically, I just have a gray beard because my genetics are flawless otherwise. As we all know very well. But Cosmo and Wanda won. So I think the only thing I need left is just like a white button shirt that I don't mind if it gets dirty, basically.
Fair.
with us partying kind of thing. But yeah, Cosmo and Wanda will be what we're doing this year. So no fairy wings. I would not be able to handle that.
Yeah, that's just asking for a disaster.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm not gonna dye my hair green as much as I thought about it. We'll see like the spray color in it and that kind of thing. Wear crowns, and it'll be a fun time. So
that's good. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I totally thought that you were doing.
I thought we had told you. Okay.
No, you might have told my girlfriend, but I don't remember her saying anything. So it's absolutely news to me. Like I would remember that.
Okay.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Cosmo and Wanda, so it'll be good.
I'm very excited to see that.
And then you're doing something Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, I'm going as Jon Snow, and my girlfriend as Ygritte, who is Jon Snow's lover for a couple seasons before she, spoiler alert, gets murdered. But that's how it always goes. So.
Oh, hey, spoiler alert for your own relationship. No, kidding. All of life is a TV show. All of life is just a simulation. Everybody. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going pretty hard for those ones. We got like a bunch of old like leather and like camo stuff from Value Village, and we're like cutting it up and sewing it back together. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, and because we're putting a lot of work into it when we go to Comic-Con in April, we'll probably just like reuse those costumes.
Okay, so, I want to do that so bad. I want to do it.
Yeah, it's so fun. My first one was last year, and it was a blast. I don't know why I never went sooner. So yeah, we'll definitely get you going this year. So
I was saying to my girlfriend,
not San Diego Comic-Con, no, whole other level, but like
that would be a lot of fun to do. But even just like Calgary Comic-Con is really big here for at least in Canada. But I was just saying to my girlfriend, I was like, yeah, like I want to drop these last pounds kind of thing so I can like look decent in a Spider-Man suit again. And like there's people out there that like how jerseys are my hobby in a way, right? Like cosplay is their hobby, and like they get these like hard like beautiful like replica costumes and that kind of thing. And the variations for Spider-Man is so much fun. I'd love to be able to like, not look like a fat slob Spider-Man, basically. So
you mean old Spider-Man, retired Spider-Man.
Yeah, there you go. My back is about similar, so might as well.
Yeah, just complain about your knees because I'm sure they'll be hurting after walking around.
Oh, dude, they already hurt. They already hurt.
Yeah, so it's perfect. Yeah, you can just be old Spider-Man.
God. Okay, really quick story about my knee, just to show how brutal they are already, and then we can get started here.
Yeah.
So this summer, I guess I was technically the oldest person at my job, and I'm only 25. Obviously, like the oldest is our director, Sandy. Shout out to her. But everybody else was like, I think there's like the next person was like just like a half a year younger than me. And then after that was like a few years younger into like high school kind of thing. There was one point I was in my director's office there, kind of like kneeling down behind her, just like putting away some files and that kind of thing because I was her assistant. And I'd went down just onto my knee to put these away. And you can tell that there's like hardwood underneath the carpet in her office. And because I went down on my knee and it cracked as it hit as it hit the floor. And so it just reverberated through the floor. Like and she just goes, "What was that?" I was like, "That was my knee." "That was your knee?" So from that point on, we just joked about how our joints ached and stuff like that. But I'm 25 and I'm just like, I screwed up my body already.
So we love Halloween here. We love costumes and dressing up. So if you guys have some great costumes that you're doing, we would absolutely love to see some pictures and send them our way at Quack Report Pod or our personals at Carter_Potts POTTS_97 is mine, and at Tate Nomas TATENHOMAS is Nate. We would love to see those, and we'll also probably talk about the Ducks costumes because those will probably hit social media at some point this week or next week. So what the players dress up as, because they can get pretty creative sometimes.
And if anybody dresses up like as like as like Ducks players or Wild Wing or something like that, we'll
Yeah.
retweet them on the Quack Report pod as well. Just be
Oh,
sure to tag us
absolutely.
in them. So
Yeah, yeah. We'll feature you on the show. We'll pull you up. And yeah,
yeah,
if you go as a Ducks player, that's bonus points here.
it'll be fun stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we get into the Ducks and Bruins game here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. So this was a 2-1 overtime loss to the Bruins, which was a lot closer than either of us had
Either of us
predicted.
thought, yeah.
I had said 6-3 Boston. You'd said 4-3 Boston. So, I mean, I guess you got the spread there.
Yeah.
Just not the overtime. So that's pretty good.
Yep.
That was pretty good. Yeah, really, really solid showing by the Ducks against a pretty decent Bruins team, even though they're pretty banged up. Like they've been rolling to start the season. So
Yeah, this was a case, I think, of the Ducks. How do I put this? They were outworked, but certain guys came out that helped make this feel a lot closer than it actually was, I think. And actually kept it a lot closer than it was. And the big guy, just because of how much we kind of harped on him on the last episode, maybe not harped on him, but like discussed maybe what's going on or that. I do want to give props to John Gibson. Yeah, he had a fantastic game. One thing I was noticing, like, because I was kind of talking about how he just constantly seemed scrambled. He seemed a lot more like his calm self in this game for whatever reason. Yeah, guy put up a 972 save percentage and had an expected goal save above of 1.82. So basically 2 goals should have been added to the board that John Gibson was like, no, not tonight.
Yeah, like
So,
should have been. Well, I guess this was technically a shootout, so he only had the 1 goal against technically, so it should have been like a 3-1 regulation loss essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And I know he, like, in the past we've talked about, oh, like John Gibson plays great and it's going really well, and then it kind of collapses in the shootout, and like that's kind of the weak spot there. And he did great in the shootout also. Like this is a game that I'm not putting on him whatsoever. If anything, he's the reason that it was only 2-1 in a shootout. So yeah, Gibson played great. He is starting today in Detroit. And so yeah, hopefully he's able to keep it up there. So and Vetrano is the other guy that I really want to just focus on for a quick second here, because he was just buzzing around the net during this game. 5 shots, 1 goal. It was the highest on the team in terms of like expected goals for an individual player there. Wasn't as high in the expected goal percentage for all situations, I guess. He was kind of in the 40% range there, but yeah, no, he was around the net the entire time. And yeah, the goal that he scored off of that great McTavish feed as well to tie the game. Yeah, Vetrano's settling in nicely, I think.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely found a role on this team, and he's like performing well at it. And what I love about him most, like the 5 shots here really speaks to that, I think. He's not afraid to just throw the puck on net. He's not looking for the perfect play. He's just like, let's just get it to the net, see what happens. Maybe we'll get a rebound. Like, they're not all like high danger shots or anything like that. But for a team that struggles in putting shots on net, he definitely helps just to shift the mentality a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of shots, I didn't see what the final shots were. Oh, yeah, actually, 36-31 in favor of Boston. So that was a lot better showing for even just trying to get pucks on net. And
the first period wasn't
actually keeping, again, like a bit of a hindered Boston, but still a really good Boston team, I think.
The first period was all Boston,
shots,
though. So it was 13-5 for Boston. So you watch the first period and you're like, Jesus, like, are we in for another like 50 shots? But then it bounced out 10-10 in the second and 11-9 for the Ducks in the third period. So we increased our shots and then somewhat limited their opportunities. And then 5-4 in overtime for the Ducks as well. So whatever they did for the second, third period and overtime was way better. And I don't think it was a relaxation by Buffalo. or not Buffalo, sorry, Boston. I don't think it
Mhm.
was like, I don't think they sat back at all because it was 0-0 by the end of the first. I think the Ducks just figured something out defensively to limit shots on goal. So,
Yeah. So yeah, no, I thought this was a pretty good game there. I
hmm
have here that like the Fowler Drysdale pairing played all right, and that was a pairing that we talked about that we'd like to see a bit more, and then sure enough, they've been
hmm
going with it for the last couple of games.
yeah, starting
Um,
to settle in. Yeah.
yeah, it's looked awesome. So yeah, Vetrano, just to go back to the two guys that I kind of talked about there, Vetrano going into the game today against Detroit. Tied for goals with Troy Terry with 3 for the team.
Nice.
Which considering like some of the games that we have had that we've gotten higher scoring, I guess,
hmm
it's still a little bit more spread out, but I think we're already starting to see, even though it's 3-2-1-0, that Terry Vetrano are going to be the guys that kind of lead it, I
Lead the
think.
way in goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree for sure.
And McTavish as well. Again, I talked about his feed. He's leading the team with 4 assists after this game.
Nice.
Yeah, that kid is looking awesome. The only complaints I have are more just like, well, he's new, he's still kind of learning kind of thing, but he
hmm
ironed out a lot of things even compared to his 9-game stint last year. So yeah, kid's looking awesome. So
Yeah. Yeah. The only, it's not even a complaint. The only like thing I wish we got more from with McTavish is that he got more goals, but it's not for lack of trying either. Like he has a phenomenal shot. Like he's very well known
yeah,
at all levels for his shot. Like it's just absolutely nuts. So I just hope that we see more results from him because it'll be good for him and his confidence as well. But I think once they start going in for him, like he's gonna have a really good season. He's gonna have a good time. So
exactly.
yeah, yeah. I mean that's kind of the Coles notes here. Oh, I guess you had a note here about the challenge on the DeBrusque goal in the first period and how that was that worked out really well in our favor.
Yeah, so I did have to go back. I was also trying to pay attention in class actually as this
Yeah,
game was going on. So there's
which
a
is
couple
fair.
things I did kind of miss here and there, but going back, watching kind of the condensed game, which I do for every one of these that we talk about, whether
hmm
I am able to actually sit and watch the game or not, just to kind of refresh my mind about it before we do these episodes.
hmm
Um, but yeah, just to like I was kind of watching and I was like, that looked offside and they're kind of talking about it. I even went freeze frame and was like going frame by frame through it. And I was like, that's going to be offside. But knowing, and like, even in like the thing, it's like they're kind of talking about it and Eakins hasn't decided yet.
hmm
And I'm like, that looks offside. Eakins better call that. And secondly, the situation room and the refs better call this correctly as
Yeah.
well. Cause I kind of forgot how that first period went exactly.
hmm
Um, so I was very happy when, yes, Anaheim is going to challenge. So good on, I believe it would be Brett Ferguson and or Austin Violette, who are the video coaches for the Ducks
hmm
there. For saying like, yeah, like challenge this thing, right? Like they're the guys
hmm
who are watching these plays and figuring out what to challenge and whatnot. And then Egan's kind of gets the final say, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, great challenge by we'll just call it the Anaheim coaching staff on that play as well. And fortunately for us, the situation room agreed on their own ruling, I guess.
hmm
And yeah, just to have that game still be close, I guess, right? It only
Yeah.
would have made it 1-0, but that was a worthwhile challenge. We don't see too many actually like worthwhile challenges thrown out by Eakins. We don't see many challenges in general thrown
hmm
out by Eakins. So
Yeah.
was very that I guess that's maybe why it made it a point for me because we don't there's so many times where it feels like we should challenge and they
And we
don't.
don't. Yeah.
So yeah, that one specifically, that was a great challenge, I think.
hmm
So
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, like it was just the first goal in the first period. So like it's not the end of the world, but considering how the first period went, I think
yeah,
it takes a little wind out of the sails of the Bruins and maybe gives some life to Anaheim like that. Oh, we still have a chance in this period. But it also didn't really matter for the result of the game, right? Because we still lost, so that extra goal wouldn't have made a difference. I guess it would have made the difference for if we got a point or not, because we did take a point out of this one.
Yeah.
So there is that. But and to be seen, we've got to wait about 6 months to see if that matters in terms of playoff position or anything like that. But yeah, I think it just also says that Eakins is invested in this team no matter how it is. Like it's very easy to get dominated in the first period and be losing and have a goal go in, and you can just kind of say, whatever, screw it, we're going to lose this game anyways. Like, I'm not going to waste a challenge and potentially give them a power play to make it worse. It's sort of what we talked about last week. I don't remember on which episode, but how Eakins is kind of like coaching as like a player's coach more so, if that makes sense, where like,
yeah,
because he I brought up that he had mentioned he had I guess trained in the off season, for lack of a better word, with a football coach. And I think that player management and like a sort of angle of coaching that he's maybe been lacking in, I think this challenge is another example of that, because we haven't seen that in the past. You're right, Nate, that this is a very rare challenge for him. So, but it gives confidence to the team by doing this challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it's questionable, and even if it doesn't go our way, right? So I think that's we're seeing Eakins develop a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's the long version of or the short version of what I tried to say.
Yeah, exactly. And just because I was seeing it here as well, not in relation to this game, I guess, but just want to throw it in there before we forget about it. Congratulations to radio commentator for the Anaheim Ducks, Dan Wood, who is doing his 1,000th game today against Detroit. So, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and then just the shootout here. We can briefly touch on that. So the Ducks played Zegras, Terry, and Kevin Shattenkirk as their first three, and then Comtois was their fourth round selection there. So
it made me very happy that I still had that clip of you, like just that joke skit that we had last season, and you just yelling, "Kevin, sit the fuck down," because. Yeah, that was worth it. And there was.
Did you post that before? Like as soon as it was going to a shootout, you were like, "Hey, Eakins, this is your reminder to."
No, I posted it as soon as Shattenkirk. It was like, okay, next shooter, Kevin Shattenkirk. So like I had that posted before the shot was even taken, at least from like the stream that I was watching. So
okay.
I was just like, yeah, like fuck, come on, yeah, why? You have other guys that are offensively gifted, right? Like I get that Shattenkirk used to be an offensive defenseman, if you want to call him that, or that kind of thing. But like you have other guys, like you have the hands of Mason McTavish that could have gotten you something, right? Or Vetrano was the guy who had your goal that night. Right. So like he's kind of feeling it. He was, like I said, he was buzzing around the net a little bit. You got Silfverberg, who's 21 for 47 in his career, right? Like that's pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah. I mean, just
like you have fair, like, other options there.
Yeah,
like,
I think Silfverberg's the only, I guess, proven option for for shootouts. Like Strome actually isn't fantastic, 3 for 13. Vetrano only 1 for 10. Comtois 3 for 9, so still pretty young and comparable to Shattenkirk, right? But like, there's,
to be fair for Strome, though, usually the teams that he had been on in the past had offensive guys that would have been up before him, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So because 13 isn't a lot for how long his career is, right?
Yeah, like Zegras already is only 1 behind him at this point. So
yeah, and he's in his second full NHL season. So.
Yeah, so that's where I kind of look at like Strome's numbers and go, okay, well, like keep kind of this in consideration. But even if you just throw in Comtois there instead of having him shoot fourth, right? But just like Shattenkirk in the shootout, at least in an Anaheim Ducks jersey, except for like the 1 or 2 games last year, it doesn't work. Quit doing it, please, for all of our sakes. If you want to give Ducks fans as a whole, if you want to see however many individual Ducks fans there are in the world, just to throw a number out there, 3 million. Okay. Like I know I know Anaheim's not a massive fan base, like with the rest of the NHL kind of thing comparatively. So let's just say 3 million, right? If you want to see 3 million people individually all have an aneurysm at the same time, throw Kevin Shattenkirk in one more shootout. I dare you, Dallas Eakins. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Please quit. Please.
Like you said, his shooting percentage career is 15 for 42, which is a pretty solid 35.7%. Like that's it's not by any means like the greatest of all time, but it's like pretty decent, especially for a defenseman.
Yeah.
But with Anaheim,
it's not happening.
With Anaheim, his shooting percentage is 16.7. He's 1 for 6 in the shootout.
I think it was that very first shootout that he was part of. Yeah.
Yeah. So not although 14 shootout games with the Ducks. He's only appeared in 6 of them, so not quite half. But
I wanted to stay at 6. I don't want to see another Kevin Shattenkirk shootout attempt.
Yeah,
at least with Anaheim.
Yeah, I get playing Shattenkirk over guys like Vetrano and Strome and even Comtois, who did go next. Silfverberg, question mark. Yeah, I mean, maybe not recently you want to put him in, but the one I don't understand is you put Kevin Shattenkirk in over a young guy known for his shot and for his offensive, like elite offensive talent, and Mason McTavish, who has 0 shootout appearances.
Yeah.
Why not throw him in there? See what he can do.
He's the perfect guy for shootouts, right? Go find any clips of him from the preseason, any clips of him in junior, any clips, right? Like the guy has hands. It's part of the like write up, I guess, basically, for when he was getting drafted, right? Like the hands on this kid are insane. I get it. It's Boston. It's you're trying to get a win here because you haven't had one in a few games already. Yeah. But like that's a guy that is almost a low risk, high reward type attempt, right?
Yeah, exactly. And but like you said, we're trying to get a win. We haven't had one in a while. Who do you trust more to get you a goal one-on-one with a very good goaltender? Kevin Shattenkirk or Mason McTavish?
Exactly.
Like, yes, Shattenkirk's been around for a while, but like he's not going to be the guy that's going to get you a goal when you need it, like, or very rarely. But Mason McTavish, at all levels he's played at, has been that guy to show up when it matters. So yeah, maybe you don't want to put him at number 3 in the shootout because that's a lot of pressure for a young kid. Sure, whatever you want to say, but put him at number 1. Just be like, here you go. Just see what you can do. If you get one, great. If not, we got 2 other opportunities to get a goal.
Yeah. Like,
go ahead, Mason. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
So. A lot of teams, like, unless a guy is really going for it, right? Like, really feeling it that night, typically teams will have, okay, here's the first 3 guys. And it's the norm, right? Zegras, Terry, McTavish. I don't care what order it is, but that's got to be your 3, I think. Just because those are your young guys with hands, especially. So Zegras didn't show the hands as much, unfortunately. And watching
I think he kind of overthought it a little bit.
That was the Boston guys. They said they were kind of disappointed, but I mean, besides that though, we've always seen Zegras always has a chance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
Terry,
7 for 12 is nothing to scoff at. Like, that's not even really small sample size considering Strome has been in the league forever as 13. Like, just 7 for 12. Like,
and
that's pretty good.
And Terry can screw goalies up as well by he can either make a move or he does like to just go in and pick a spot sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So those are great guys to choose.
Those are great guys to go for. I think that's got to be your 3, unless Vetrano kind of continues how he's been going in terms of just goals in general, then maybe you're putting him in your top 3 kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's dependent on the night, like you said. Like if he's having a good night, sure, put him in. But
yeah.
Anyways, like if you really want to have a hard on for Kevin Shattenkirk, put him at like your 4th or 5th. Like by the time you're in,
put
like
him as
the
your
extra
5th or 6th.
Sure, like whatever. Like
put
just
him,
put him.
There's other guys that deserve it before him.
Yeah, don't put him in your top 3 though. Put him as like your okay. Now we're just going like sudden death. Like we'll see what happens. Like it's basically throwing a dart at that point. Like you're just like, I don't know, maybe Kevin Shattenkirk today. I don't know, maybe Cam Fowler's gonna do. Maybe Dimitri. Like you're just
exactly.
I don't know. It's just, but number 3 is an interest. It's a choice. It's a choice. So I don't know. Maybe Kevin Shattenkirk is sensitive, or maybe Dallas Eakins like I don't know, slept with Kevin Shattenkirk's wife or something, and he's got dirt on him. He's like, you put me in number 3, or I don't know. He's blackmailing him or something. I don't know, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. No, I'm sure Kevin Shattenkirk didn't do that. Or Dallas didn't do that with Shattenkirk's wife. Those are nice dudes, but
exactly.
Anyways, we can talk about this for a long time, and we're not going to do that. We are going to move on to the reverse retro jerseys.
Yeah. If you can't tell, Kevin Shattenkirk in the shootout just gets us riled up because whenever we've talked about it, it's been a bit of a lengthy conversation.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say before we get into the reverse retros, we should probably listen to our buddies over at DraftKings.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, I guess because we don't.
That's about it. We're kind of keeping it shorter today.
That's true. So. Yeah. Okay. On the other side, we will talk a little more in depth about the Anaheim reverse retro specifically. We'll start with that right out of the break, and then we are going to give our rankings of all 32 reverse retro jerseys. So that is how we will wrap up this episode. And in a couple minutes after DraftKings, that is when you can catch that conversation. See you on the other side.
Hockey fans, it's finally time to hit the ice again. And thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you're in for the season of a lifetime. New customers can bet $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets if they win. Maybe you want to take the odds on Mason McTavish winning the Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year this year. He has the second best odds on DraftKings Sportsbook behind Matty Beniers of the Seattle Kraken at plus 500. And if that wasn't enough excitement, you can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use the promo code THPN, bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game, and get $200 in free bets if they do. Again, that's code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Alrighty, we are back to talk about the Anaheim Ducks reverse retro jersey, now that it has been officially revealed. And oh boy, that's how I feel about it.
Looks good.
Looks very, very good. Yeah. You got a picture for everybody who is watching our stream here?
Yes, I do.
If you haven't seen it already, look at that.
I love it.
Gorgeous. Nice mighty duck on the front there with orange and gold, I guess, instead of the eggplant and jade, which obviously inferior to the eggplant and jade. But if we're insistent on using the orange, and that's kind of the vibe of the reverse retros, it's about as good as it gets right there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm okay if we were to go back to like the mighty duck. Like, yes, would I like to go back to eggplant and jade? Yes, but if this color palette is what we're sticking with, I'd be okay with this just because the orange is a lot more prominent, I guess, compared to the copper when this color palette was first introduced back in 2006, 2007. But this jersey I think looks fantastic. It takes the reverse retro idea and works it like to the letter, basically to the definition, right? Yeah, this thing
bringing
looks
back one of the nicest jerseys in the Ducks history too. That original
and one of the more
93 diagonal striping, like
and one of the more popular jerseys in NHL history, I think, as well. So
for
yeah,
sure,
this
for
jersey
sure.
looks fantastic. I've already seen fans on Twitter asking for a orange or black version of like this striping, right? And then to have this the home and away and that sort of thing. So I will say for my prediction of this, I went 110%, I'll call it, because I did have the shoulder patches that was actually from the 1996 version of it when they introduced the patches. So whereas this jersey does not have the shoulder patches on them. So
yeah.
But yeah, this jersey, fantastic. Love it. So
yeah, it's good stuff. Zero complaints. It's going to look awesome. I'm not normally a fan of white jerseys, especially for like specialty ones, either as an alternate or like a reverse retro, but this one crushes it. And I mean, it really complements our alternate jersey that we have this year. That I mean, the one that Nate wears all the time, like that orange Mighty Duck one. Like it just works perfectly with that, but it follows the theme. So it's great.
Yeah, it looks good. So, so moving forward with us talking about, we're going to go through every team's jersey alphabetically here. Just kind of give a quick little thing, and we're going to give it a grade out of 5, basically. So if we give it a 5, it's a top jersey. If we give it a 1, sucks ass.
Yeah,
and they should have asked somebody else to design it.
Yeah, when I made my original,
or maybe not design it. I shouldn't be harsh on some of the designers because some of them kind of get put into a corner on certain things. The team should have allowed a little more creativity. I'll put it that way, because I know even for spoiler alert for Columbus's, it sounds like Adidas had a different idea that Columbus said no to. That would have been fantastic. That being said, though, I hope it does lead to something in the future. We'll have to see. So, and when we get there, I'll talk about it a bit more.
Sounds good. I came up with a little rubric for mine when I originally did my tiers. This is kind of what I had in mind. So a rubric for those that want to put some descriptors to the 5-point scale there. So 5 out of 5 would be like, this is perfection. Like your teacher wanted to asked to keep this project as an example to show future classes, like that kind of level. Your 4 out of 5 is like, you understood the assignment, you followed the instructions, you didn't go like crazy above and beyond, but like it's a good jersey, it looks good, you did everything you were asked to. Maybe a touch above and beyond, but like otherwise just very solid. 3 out of 5, you attended class, but you didn't really participate enough. So like yeah, you did what you were supposed to, but like you just kind of put in the minimum effort and you followed the instructions, but like
your participation grade sucks, but you did well on the rest of the work, I guess.
Yeah, you did the work, but that's it. You just did it.
You kept your camera off on Zoom. You didn't go like put anything in the chat, but you did the homework and you did fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's your 3 out of 5. The 2 out of 5 is C's get degrees. So you did some work and then you were like, you know what? This is a passing grade. This is all I need to keep my GPA where it's at. We're phoning it in now. Like, yeah, we did the work. We followed some instructions, but like it's kind of unfinished. Like you wrote an essay and then you didn't proofread it. You just did your first draft, stream of consciousness, and handed it in. You got run-on sentences. You got a paragraph that's like 2 pages long, spelling mistakes. You spelled Jersey wrong like 4 times or whatever.
With a G.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you mixed up the S and the R a couple times. That's your C's get degrees tier. Like it's okay. It's passable. And then your 1 out of 5 is you should have just dropped the class. You didn't follow the instructions. You weren't paying attention. It's like, no, we're done. That's it. If I could give you a 0, I would, but we only went to a 1 because that's how it is. So.
Your 1 out of 5 was my grade 12 math, where like you got a 50% when you were done.
Yeah.
It's a jersey. It's not great, but it's a jersey.
Yeah. By definition of the word jersey, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's it. Exactly. Is it a reverse retro jersey? No.
No.
Maybe, but no. So that's kind of what I was going for. But if that's too much for you, 5-1.
Yeah.
So
5 out of 5. Again, good thing. 1 out of 5. That sucked.
Yeah. We got the Ducks jersey up here. We've already given our thoughts on it. So Nate, where did you place the Ducks jersey on our 5-point scale?
Solid. 5 out of 5.
Hell yeah.
No argument for me whatsoever. You first told me that you had it at a 4, and I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then you looked at it just a little bit longer, then you were like 5 out of 5, and I'm like, yes, that is the correct choice. That's like that's the one jersey I'll probably argue with, I think, with you on this thing. So otherwise, everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but this one is one that you have to have it at the top.
Dude, I don't even know why I put it 4 out of 5. I did it like super late. I did it like 1 a.m. one night. And then now that I looked at this and I was like, I have it at 4 out of 5. And I was like, why do I have it at 4 out of 5? Like there's some other jerseys that are fantastic, phenomenal, like way above and beyond. Yeah. But like for the Ducks, it's like, this is what you were supposed to do. This is the definition of a reverse retro jersey. Like this isn't even like so I think maybe that's why I put it in like the quote understood the assignment one. But this is like if you looked up reverse retro jersey in an encyclopedia, the Anaheim Ducks one is what the picture should be that accompanies it, because it's just so perfect. Like it's not the most out of the box jersey, I guess, which is maybe what I was saving the 5 out of 5 tier for, but like it doesn't get any more perfect than that. You took an old jersey that was already basically perfect, and you just changed the colors to what you have now and kept it perfect.
Yeah. And seeing the white version of this, and we're both going to try to get our hands on this. It is a little bit harder with us being in Canada because Anaheim's not as popular up here. Yeah, I tried to pre-order this for both of us on the Anaheim team site, and it was gonna let me, but 50 US for shipping up to us, which for us in Canadian dollars is $70 for shipping. I think for like a blank jersey for each of us with shipping split was gonna be like $300, which is like a hand stitched with like a hand stitched player name and number on a jersey otherwise. So we can find a better deal essentially for hopefully. Yeah. So I mean, unless somebody wants to help us out, because even if like somebody were to pick these up for us and mail them to us, I think it would still be cheaper actually.
Yeah. Or you live in Anaheim, but you do business in BC or something like that, so you frequently cross the border. We can maybe skip some customs charges here and there.
Yeah. Or if somebody just wants to save us the money in general and wants to buy a 54 and a 52 in blank, gladly accept them.
Yeah. as just a donation for providing you with weekly content that you just can't get enough.
We'll give you a shout out for every time the jersey is like in our frame.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Of like, this person got this for me. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, 5 out of 5s across the board here. This one is an absolute win for the Ducks.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. We'll spend less time on the other ones, but just with this one being the Ducks, we're going to go through it. So we'll power through some of these other ones here. What do we got next?
All right. Next, we got Arizona.
Yeah. So
I'll let you start off with comments.
Sure.
Or actually, sorry. What we'll do is I'll give like a brief like history of the jersey, and then you can start with like what your grade and what you like it.
Yeah, go for it.
Or why you like it. So this is based off of again the original third jersey that the Phoenix Coyotes had from 1998 to 2003. They did this jersey again the first time the reverse retros came around, but it was a purple base to that one. So
yeah. So I mean, in terms of, this is going to come up later, where I don't like when teams took their last reverse retro and then basically did the same jersey, but just did slightly different colors or swapped from home to away or whatever. Like if there's too much similarity to the first one, I'm not really a fan of the jersey. Yeah. But this is the exception, because the inclusion of the sienna base color is a phenomenal choice. I know it's not for everybody, but I love the, I guess, creativity and the willingness to put a new color into rotation in the NHL. Like, we don't get a lot of variety. And I think just for that, the sienna color is what puts this up to a 5 out of 5 for me. I actually have it as I did rank technically like 1 to 32. So I have this as like my second place jersey, and Anaheim at 7th. So still up there. But yeah, I really like the boldness of this jersey. And it's just nice in general, because I loved the purple one, but then just that slight tweak is enough for me.
Yeah. For myself, I don't like this one as much as the first version of the reverse retro or even the original one, but the more I look at it, the more it is growing on me, and it does look really nice. I remember Richie Flores from the Sporty with Corey and Richie show on the Hockey Podcast Network that covers the Coyotes. He had sent me, or he had tagged me on Twitter with kind of like some of the information that was coming out about this, of like it would be kind of this burnt orange color, and was just like, hey, like, can you make like a concept of what this might look like? And not saying that I do better than, like the Adidas designers or anything like that. This is way better though than what I came up with, like following kind of the same ideas. And yeah, this one I really enjoy. I have it at a 3, but I feel like the more time I spend with this one, it could bump up to a 4. So
it's like a 3.5 out of 5.
So, but it'll be in the 3 range at least for our tier list. So
yeah,
like
which is fair. Yeah,
it's good, but it's not great. It's not one that I'm like, oh, I wish I could have had the money to spend on this one. So
yeah, that's fair. So. Okay, what else we got here?
All right, next we got the Boston Bruins. Oh,
as Twitter reloads here.
Awesome, I love it. Fantastic.
Doctor Who. Oh no, what's going on?
No, we are not.
I also saw Boris Johnson on there. I hope the UK's doing all right. They got some shit going on.
Oh no, I'm gonna lose all these Twitter ones. Okay. Sorry, hold on with me here for a quick second as I try to re-find this again. God damn it, Bruins.
Come on.
But yeah, here, where is... I can kind of talk as I'm pulling this up here. Yeah, so this jersey was the original 3rd jersey for the Boston Bruins. Or no, sorry, I guess not the original 3rd jersey. They did have 3 jerseys in the 50s there. So this is, I guess, the first from the 3rd jersey program for the NHL. That became a league-wide thing. Was worn from 1995 to 2006. So it was worn by the likes of Joe Thornton when he was a Bruin and whatnot. But yeah, it takes the Pooh Bear jersey, as it has been referred to more commonly,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it takes it from its yellow base to a white base. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the picture here.
Can you just search Boston Bruins reverse retro? Would that be faster than trying to scroll through?
I think I was trying that before, and it wasn't liking that. It would pull up the last one. Oh, there it was. Yeah, there we go. And then, yeah, you can see actually in the comments there, the original yellow version. So, yeah. And just to clarify as well, because when I was on with Neil, at the base of the like the base of the jersey, like the striping and that is black. Actually, it's just the lighting on it that makes it look brown. The only thing that's brown is the logo itself.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, so I had this one as a 3 out of 5. It's fine. This is my, again, understood the assignment tier. Like, you took an old jersey that is well known, I guess, like even if you're a Bruins fan or not. The thing that does it for me though is the white version of it, like the away version. This is one of those cases where I'm not a fan of them going with the away version. I would have liked to see a colored version of it, even though like the original was yellow, and like they haven't obviously changed their colors since
too much.
then.
Yeah.
So like you might kind of end up with the same thing, but maybe like a black base with yellow accents. But I don't know, just something that isn't the white, because like it's just, there's something about it that I just don't like about the big dark crest and then everything else is white. But I do like a lot of aspects of it, like how they changed some of the striping on the bottom of the sleeves and the bottom of the jersey. Like it's more inspired by the old jersey, I guess. So I like that because I think they improved on it that way. But it's the away version that doesn't do it for me.
That's fair. I have this one, if I'm not mistaken, at a 5 out of 5, actually. I love this. It might be the fact that I love the ridiculousness of some of the jerseys that came out of the 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally love this one. I do understand like your mentality of like a different dark base. So like if they did like a black or
even a brown,
even a brown kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how you would do that with a brown bear then, but like,
yeah, but like have like a white outline around it, I think, or
make it a polar
like
bear.
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just this for me really works. And I feel like the only reason that they wouldn't have done a black base is Boston normally goes to a black base for like their winter classic jerseys or even their main jerseys, like their home and their alternate right now are black, right? So
yeah,
you do a white one just to kind of change it up a little bit, have something kind of different in there besides the usual away jersey, I guess. So
yeah, it makes sense.
But yeah, for myself at least, I love this jersey. I got it at a 5 out of 5.
Fair enough. Okay, what do we got next here?
I apologize. I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter on my end.
Oh, yes. Me too. Yeah.
We know I like to talk about jerseys.
Yeah, so. I do have lots of thoughts about them, but I need to not say them all. So.
Yeah. All right. The next one we got here is the Buffalo Sabres with a return to the goat head, as it is known as well, which Buffalo is bringing back the original jersey for as their third. These are the black and red ones of the 90s to 2000s, kind of the Dominic Hasek era, I guess you would, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So I had this one at a 4 out of 5, kind of on the lower end of the 4 tier. Again, just because of the white version, especially because they have a different color scheme now compared to when this jersey came out. I feel like you could have went with a blue or a yellow base for it. The white wasn't totally necessary, but I do like the jersey and the logo, so that puts it at the 4 out of 5. And they still followed the assignment: black and red, to blue and yellow. So
yeah. This one I have at a 4 out of 5 as well. I know Buffalo fans love this jersey though. This is what they've been asking for. I got no issue with how the jersey looks necessarily. Buffalo did a white version for reverse retro last time as well from the same era. I just would have liked to have seen. I was really hoping for a blue version of this, just to basically combine the two jerseys of Buffalo right now that I'm torn between and just give me the middle ground so I could buy it. But I guess I still have a decision to make. So, but it's still a fantastic jersey though. Yeah, I got it at a 4 out of 5.
Cool. Where to next? I should know this because we're going alphabetical order here, but I just can't think.
Next up is the Calgary Flames, who are taking the pedestal jersey, as it's called, from 1995 to 2000, and swapping some colors around to make it black rather than red or white. And this was the first jersey that Calgary introduced black into their color scheme.
Cool. So this one is a struggle for me, A, because it's Calgary, and B, because I just don't know how I feel about it. I originally had it at 4 out of 5, and then I moved it down to 3 out of 5.
Okay.
And then I moved it down to 2 out of 5. And and I don't know, it's one of those ones that it could be a 3 out of 5, it could be a 2 out of 5, but the thing for me is they did a very similar color scheme with the Blasty reverse retro, black base, and then the red and gold accents. And then here it just kind of feels like they kind of just did the same thing again. They're like, oh, let's take an old jersey, make the base black, and then replace where the black was with a red or gold before. Like, it's just like, which is the point, but like I feel like you could have done something different, like than what you did last year. You know, it's just, and it's also partially because Calgary hasn't changed their colors, and why would you? Because you're the Flames. Like, why would you not have red and yellow, right? But like, I don't know. And then the big white C in the middle is like, it's just so much white on like an otherwise black or very bright jersey, and it's just like I don't know. It's something isn't working about it. I can't put my finger on it, but there's that, and it's just too similar to the Blasty one. So that's why I have it at 2 out of 5. But it's not the worst, I guess.
I was happier with you when you said it was a 4 or even a 3 out of 5. But still, you having it in, we'll call it the middle range. This jersey for every other person's list has either been at the very top or the very bottom. And I love how divisive this jersey is. Personally, I have it as a 5 out of 5, not because I almost nailed it knowing absolutely nothing, but I love this jersey personally. And I happen to, you don't normally see it in frame, but it would be over my left shoulder here is the door to leave my office area. And normally I have this original pedestal jersey actually hanging up there. So I personally love this jersey. And again, it's probably like a 90s, just how outlandish it is that it kind of works for me. Down to the point that like I normally have this hat even with the same striping hung with it. So I love this jersey. I was so I didn't think we would ever see it again, kind of thing. Not that I was old enough to remember them wearing this jersey, but I kind of think back to old pictures of like rookie Jerome McGinley wearing number 24, wearing this jersey before he really established himself in the NHL. So Flame fans definitely don't like the era, I guess, that this jersey brings back, but the design of it though is fantastic, I think. So I have it as a 5 out of 5. This one nails the reverse retro idea. Let's like literally let's take something retro, reverse it. So yeah. So fair. 5 out of 5 for me.
Cool. Yeah, I think if this was the first one they did like a couple years ago, I'd probably have it higher, but it's the similarities, I think, for me. So
that's fair.
Which I judged a lot of these jerseys on. If they did something new compared to the last year. So what else do we have? Carolina?
Next up we got Carolina.
Is this the same guy as
Hurricanes?
Who wears the Flames one?
Yeah, I think we have like 3 models,
3
maybe.
or 4,
but yeah, so this jersey is based off of the current away jersey actually that they introduced in 2019, which was divisive from the start, basically, when people saw it.
So is it reverse? Yes. Is it retro? I mean, the last couple years have maybe felt like 20 years to some people, but it's still only been a few years.
Technically, it appeared in the last decade.
Yeah, I guess. So, but like, it's just not like you could have just released this jersey like as your third jersey or home jersey or whatever. Like, this doesn't follow the instructions to me. It's like, I don't know. It just feels like something you could have just designed. And I maybe would have put it at 2 out of 5, but the storm flags on the base or on the side of the C, I'm sorry, that's not doing it for me. So I have it at the top of my 1 out of 5 tier, but there's just too many things that I don't like about it, or just a couple things I don't like about it combined with it's not reverse retro.
Yeah, and I have it at a 2 out of 5. The only reason it's not at a 1 is because I just like the look of this jersey. Actually.
Yeah, it's a nice jersey.
And something that frustrates me with Carolina is they don't have the same logo appearing twice on the crest of a jersey anymore.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between like inverting colors or that kind of thing, like Anaheim did even with the Mighty Duck logo.
Yeah. But it's not even close to the same logo for Carolina.
Yeah, it's the now home jersey is the warning flags. The away jersey is the Canes wordmark diagonal, and the 25th anniversary jersey, which is now the third jersey, is the Hurricanes logo, right? That we all know that is still their primary mark, even though it's not the primary mark on any of their primary jerseys. If they decide to move away from that and make the flags kind of the main logo, I guess, kind of like how the Rangers have, like the shield logo, but they don't wear that on the front of their jersey. I'd be fine with it. I like the look of this jersey, but like you said, it doesn't really fit the program to me, so I got it at 2.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah. Okay.
And I gotta keep myself shorter than that.
Is this Columbus? Is that who we're on?
Yeah, no,
Chicago.
Oh,
no,
Chicago. Can I start this one here?
Yeah, go for it.
Actually, so this one is based off of, I think it was the 1950s. I'm just double checking myself on that one. Or sorry, it was the late 30s to mid 50s is what it was. They put the word mark instead of the head, basically,
because it was the head with the circle around it.
Yeah, they have their main logo, I guess, is the shoulder patch, but to kind of take it away from the front of the jersey, maybe that was a better idea. But at the same time, with how much is going on in this jersey, I got it at a 1.
I also have it at a 1. It's hard when your entire franchise hasn't changed since the beginning of the league.
And the NHL has thrown you in how many outdoor games that you've already gone through all those old jerseys that you're making up new ones at this point. Pretty close.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of fitting the program, it's not really there, and it's not the most creative. So because of lack of source material, essentially, it's a 1 out of 5 for me too.
Okay, who do we have? Oh, next would be Colorado. So I'm just gonna pull that, bring this over here because I did get just the image. There we go.
Cool.
So yeah, we got the Colorado Avalanche, who are one of 2 teams pulling from the Colorado Rockies, which was the NHL team before the Avalanche, obviously. So, yeah. So Carter, your thoughts?
Yeah. I like this jersey. It's a white jersey, but because it's so different from everything else that they've had, or that they currently have, or did last year. I mean, they had a white jersey last year, but they went Nordiques, not Rockies, right? So it's an interesting take on the reverse retro aspect of it. Like they went retro in terms of like the city's history, I guess, rather than that specific franchise, which I think is cool. And because it's the second round of this, you need that extra creativity. So I really like it. The color scheme works for me. The logo is obviously iconic. So I have this one at a 4 out of 5, just because it's not as fantastic as like some of the other ones I have in my 5 out of 5 tier. And I think it's the second best Rockies inspired jersey. So I have it at 4 out of 5, but it's still really solid.
Okay. I almost like to think of this as more as a city-based jersey. Taking the C from the Colorado state flag, which they do have as shoulder patch now as well. Thinking it's the red and yellow they took from the Rockies, but they kind of have the more modern blue from their alternate jersey. They have it on their current template. This is kind of a cool alternate history kind of jersey, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This one I have at a 3 out of 5. I feel bad for ranking it that low just because it's a white-based jersey, but I think it would have been cool if the navy and the white were inversed. That would have been kind of cool to me. So,
I could see that.
But it's not saying that this isn't a great jersey. If you took this jersey and made it Avalanche colors, you got a winner for me. If you were to,
absolutely,
if you did have to stray away from that iconic logo, this would be the way to go, I think.
Yeah, if you're doing reverse retro, like 10.0 in like 15 years, and you're going like retro versions of reverse retro jerseys, then you bring
Would be
back
kind of interesting. Yeah.
the burgundy and baby blue onto this jersey. Oh boy, that would be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now we should be Columbus.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, we are now at the Columbus Blue Jackets. This jersey is based off of their original third jersey from 2003 to 2007 that became the basis for what they now wear.
Cool. I have this at a 2 out of 5 because it still kind of just looks to me like a jersey similar to Carolina. Like you could just make it as a jersey and that would be fine. Like with the exception of the baby blue on the shoulders and on the bottom, like you kind of just have a navy blue Columbus Blue Jackets home jersey. And so it's not really enough for me to like it, and I just don't like. Well, is it a black base or is it a dark blue base?
It's a black base, and then for the striping it goes, so it's like black base, white, navy blue, like their usual, and then the kind of royal lighter blue that was part of the prototype jerseys.
Yeah. So like
the original look.
I get it. It's
think of the Cannon jerseys. That's that shade.
Yeah. So I get the idea, but like for me, you had too many ideas and you tried to combine them all together and it just doesn't work. Like you should have just picked a couple things, picked the one shade of blue or something, and like it's just you can't have black, navy blue, baby blue, red, white. Like it's so much, and it's just not working. So props for trying to be different, but it's too all over the place. If that makes sense. 2 out of 5.
I have this as a 1 out of 5. You made a jersey. Good job. Seeing the rumor of what Adidas was thinking, which was a white version of the Cannon jersey, which, yes, is a current one, but that's where I would have been, okay, that's fine. Columbus saying no, though, and wanting to go for a black jersey that was bold. No, you failed the assignment here, I think.
Black is not bold. We have had way too many black jerseys in the NHL, like cool third alternate black jerseys in the NHL for it to be edgy now.
Yeah, if you flipped this though and made it the lighter blue base with like the navy blue stripes, I might have been more into it.
Yeah.
Columbus shutting down the white Cannon idea though, that's where I'm hoping that they have a plan for that. And that's why they shut it down. So
yeah, I should clarify as well. I had this at the very bottom of my 2 out of 5, and I knew it was going to stay there because trying to be creative gives you just that edge over the 1 out of 5, but it's not much better than that. So
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Who do we have next? We have Dallas, and I gotta drag this over here. There we go.
Which we kind of skipped over this when Anaheim was going to be wearing their reverse retro jerseys. They'll be doing it 8 times this year, and the only reverse retro versus reverse retro matchup that Anaheim will have will be December 1st in Dallas, where they will be wearing these jerseys, and Anaheim will be wearing their away Mighty Duck throwback jersey, reverse retro as well. So that'll be very cool. Very cool matchup.
So this jersey is kind of interesting where it's technically 2 different teams' jerseys, but one franchise. So the original Minnesota North Stars had actually transitioned to this look of just the Minnesota Stars in 1991. And so they wore this jersey for 2 years before they moved to Dallas, who then wore it for, who wore it all the way up to 1999. So this is kind of a flipped version of the white of that jersey. This one above and beyond for me, the first reverse retro jersey that they did.
Leaps
they were
and bounds.
So close on that one. If you had just made the bottom of the star, like the full thing green, you would have had a winner for so many people, and maybe black instead of silver for like what we see on the logo right now, stars, because you couldn't see that. Like minor tweaks could have made that jersey from a 0 to a 5 so quickly. But yeah, this one is fantastic. I think it's a nice contrast as well to the alternate with the highlighter green striping. This one I have it a 4 out of 5.
Nice. I have this one at a 3 out of 5. Yeah, it's the definition of understood the assignment. You didn't go leaps and bounds above and beyond. You didn't really do too much above and beyond, I guess, but it works really well. It's, like you said, way better than the first one, which was by far the worst reverse retro. And yeah, I think it's solid. It works. I'm excited for the matchup with Anaheim where we get to see both of these.
Yeah, it'll be good. I do want to contend one thing though. Dallas's was not the worst of the first round. The next team we're going to talk about was the worst of the first round, and that is the Detroit Red Wings. Their first jersey
it's tied for last place.
Was talk about, oh shit, there's a half an hour until the deadline, and I haven't started yet. Throw silver on it, and we'll think of the idea later. Oh, it works with the Stanley Cup. Perfect.
Yeah.
This jersey, they are just kind of making it black stripes instead of white stripes, but and no relation to the Jack White band, but this jersey is based off of the old Detroit Cougars, which Detroit did bring back for the 75th anniversary of the franchise as well, where that jersey was primarily white with the red stripes. This time they made it red with black stripes instead. So yeah, this one looks better, and I did see a picture of Dylan Larkin wearing it with the full gear and whatnot. It is going to look really nice, but compared to kind of the rest of them, again, you're limited by what you've done in the past. But you could have, I think, taken like a Stadium Series or a Winter Classic and kind of done something cool with it.
Yeah.
I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Okay, I only gave this one a 1 out of 5, just below the Chicago one, because red and black doesn't do it for me when it comes to Detroit. Like, I get that you had to do something different, but like, it's again a product of not changing your branding for 100+ years. So
no, not yet. Not yet 100. 26, 27 will be 100 years.
Whatever, for a long time.
But yeah, anyway, for a long time. So,
yeah. The full kit with Dylan Larkin, I did see that as well, and that would bump it up to a 2 out of 5 for me, but it doesn't seem fair to rank that one higher just because we've seen the full kit of it and we haven't seen the full kit of most of these other ones. So
we're looking at these as just the jersey itself, right?
Yeah.
Like people just wearing them as is kind of thing. So
yeah, exactly. So in that way, it's a 1 out of 5, but I see what they're going for, but sorry, no. 0 for 2 on the reverse retros. Maybe third time's a charm.
If we get a third, because we won't have Adidas after next year.
True. Yeah.
So unless somebody else can pick it up, but
yeah.
All right. Next, we got the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
This jersey is based off of their third jersey from 2001 to 2007.
Yes. So, the team's first.
Third jersey. Yep.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I love this jersey. I'm going to buy it 100%. I have it at 4 out of 5. Just for the simple fact that it's not like the Anaheim one where it's like, this is exactly what you were supposed to do. You understood the assignment. Mm-hmm. That was my 4 out of 5 tier, right? So it's good. You took an old jersey that a lot of people love, I would say. You added the modern orange to it, and you still use the navy on your third, so that's there. So it works. However, the more I look at it, just to better fit the reverse retro program, I kind of would have. I just want to see what this would look like with a royal blue instead of a navy blue.
I think I did a mock-up of it. I can send it to you. It actually doesn't work as well.
It doesn't? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and like I still like the navy blue, and our alternate jersey is navy blue and orange, right? Mm-hmm. But so I don't know. It's good. I like it. Followed the instructions. I'm gonna buy one. It's just I don't know. Maybe you could have done more. I don't know. I'm not a designer, so I don't know what it could be, but it's it's still good. 4 out of 5.
The Flames fan in me hates saying this. I love this jersey though, and I am also buying one of these because I don't have Edmonton yet for the 32 collection.
If you have to buy an Edmonton jersey, it might as well be this one.
Yeah. If I can't get my hands on this one, though, it'll be the new Royal one because I was not going anywhere near the orange one that you guys just got rid of. It was disgusting. I hated it. This one, perfect to me, though. You didn't really need to change a whole lot, I don't think, to make this look great.
Yeah.
If you tried, I think, too hard of like swapping the orange and the white around, it would have lost the appeal, I think, kind of the look of it. This one, I have it at a 5 out of 5. I love this jersey, and I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Cool. Very, very cool.
So if it wasn't a reverse retro, I would probably add one to my collection if I was able to, just cause of like the original. I love this jersey, actually.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have the Florida Panthers. This one is based off of their original white jersey, but I don't believe has any of the Leaping Panther logos on it whatsoever. It all has different shoulder patches throughout the years.
So this is my absolute favorite reverse retro jersey, and
we're gonna disagree.
Yes, I know we are, and I know that it's also one of those polarizing ones, but it's just highly creative. They took a logo that has been just a shoulder patch, like a third logo for them forever, and they turned it into a primary logo and made a jersey for it that works. The baby blue, like sky blue, is fantastic. It screams the state of California. They incorporate the old colors. It's an interesting take on the reverse retro, and it's very bold. And I think they knew it was going to be polarizing for fans, jersey connoisseurs, general public alike. But I think it's an absolute slam dunk, home run, game-winning touchdown in overtime. Like everything, every sport except hockey. I didn't include a reference there, but I love it. I just absolutely love it. It's bold, and they nailed it. 5 out of 5.
How I explained it on Neil's show on Devil's State of Mind was, you know, when you go to a restaurant and they have like the coloring sheets for kids that are like, hey, you know, design something on this, and you could your family could win like a $25 coupon or something like that. That's what this jersey reminds me of. It was a kid with too many crayons that decided to use all of them. For myself, like there's times where multiple colors.
Would this have won the $25 coupon?
Probably, because they always pick ugly shit for that.
So there you go. See, it can win a crayon contest. It can win the reverse retro rankings.
No, that's not what we're saying here. Not what I'm saying anyway. This just feels like a jersey that's had a couple too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, just there's a lot of different colors. The navy blue on the light blue for numbering doesn't work for me.
The Seattle Kraken colors.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I love this secondary logo that's on the on the front of the jersey, but it works as a secondary logo, especially when your team is called the Panthers. And like I said, there's no Panther, I don't think, on this jersey whatsoever. So it's a great idea in theory. This is there's always the, you know, it's the cliche of, oh, the Florida man or something like that. This is the Florida jersey that is just out there, and you see it, you're not surprised, but you're also going, are you like this is actually like, this is real? So yeah, I have this one as a 1 out of 5. I'm not a fan of it, and actually from every list that I've seen, though, I seem to be in the very, very small minority. Everybody else has this as like a 4 or a 5. So
yeah. So the issue I have with your arguments there is, like, yes, they're the Panthers, but not every team has like the name of their team as like incorporated into their logo. Say like Buffalo Sabres, when they had a buffalo head, like they're not the Buffalo Buffaloes, they're the Sabres.
No, fair
so
enough.
Which is different, because Buffalo, like the city name, happens to be that.
Yeah.
Say the New York Islanders with
a good logo.
The New York Islanders don't just have an island; they have like their fishermen, or they just have the letters NY or whatever. So I'm trying to look at other examples here. And like obviously a lot of them, like the New Jersey Devils don't have a devil, they just have like the letters again, which again may be different than this. But I don't like there's just it doesn't have to be that. I get that the Panther was on the original jersey, but it also they did the Leaping Panther for reverse retro number 1. So that's but that's a way to keep them different, which I again really like. That
fair enough.
Teams did that. So I mean, I'm not trying to like crucify you and say that you are wrong, but that's it's a hot take for sure.
I just think if the Panther was even on the shoulders,
I guess
even that just helps it a little bit. I know it's such a small detail, but like I feel like that should be there in some way or another. But
what do they have on the shoulder?
They have the shoulder patches from the alternate jersey from 2009 to 2012, where they had like that navy one with the powder blue shoulders and sleeves, which is where this powder blue comes from.
Oh, okay.
And they had that shoulder patch, and I forget what the other one is exactly, but I'm pretty sure it's not the Leaping Panther or
they're more like
Modern
secondary
Panther.
logos.
It's all secondary logos from what I can recall at least.
Gotcha.
So if somebody has a different image though that they can find, show me. I will gladly take a look at it and retract and make it a 1.5. It's not really moving the needle much for me though.
Yeah, fair enough.
So.
Yeah.
All right, something I think a little less divisive. The LA Kings up next with their original, or no, sorry, not their original look. Their original logo, I guess. Where's the Kings history? Here we go. This jersey was worn 1980 to 88. I'm sure some people are kind of thinking, well, this doesn't seem like a retro, like a reverse of anything. But it is though. This jersey was never worn as a white base. Actually, it was either purple or yellow. LA never had a white jersey until 1988, where they introduced the black and silver jerseys that Wayne Gretzky popularized. So, this jersey,
which Snoop Dogg says gave the LA Kings some more street cred, according to NHL 22.
There you
or
go.
21, whichever one he was in.
He was in. I think he was in a couple of them. This jersey, I love it. It doesn't. It's so close to being a 5 out of 5 for me, but I also have to remember that the first one that they did of blending the 60s to 80s with the, or 60s and 70s with the 80s and 90s, that one is perfection to me, and I wish I had gotten my hands on that jersey. This is still a great look though, and I think just proves that the Kings need to utilize purple again. It doesn't have to be the purple and yellow, but you could mix and do purple and silver again, right? And eliminate black is a concept that I had. Purple just needs to return though. It's such a underutilized color in sports, I think. I have this one as a 4 out of 5.
Just to add something onto what you said, if the Kings go back to purple or like they change their color scheme to purple and silver, I'm ending this show now and I'm becoming a Kings fan. Just saying that right now. Not actually, but I would love that. That would be sick.
I have an idea in my head that I'm actually writing down for a concept.
Oh yeah, do it. I'd love to see that. I had this jersey as a 5 out of 5, my number 3 ranked jersey. It's an away jersey, which I've said don't really like, but it's the purple and the gold. Like they just nailed it. They did a slightly different interpretation of reverse retro, maybe where they took a retro jersey with retro colors, but they just reversed how the jersey was. So slightly different definition of reverse there, but I think it works. It's hard to maybe beat the first one that they did, but it's especially compared to some of the other crap we got in reverse retro 2.0 here. It's up there as one of the good ones. So 5 out of 5 for me.
All right. Next up, we got the Minnesota Wild, who are returning back to their north.
Sorry.
No.
It was
are returning back to their North Star roots. Get your shit out on the table right now.
It's fine. I have it at 2 out of 5, but they took the jersey they did last time and they just switched the green and the white. They just made a home version of it. That's not creative. That's, I failed grade 5. I'm just going to take, and I have the same teacher. I'm going to take the project I did last time and just slightly tweak it because I've already done this. You could have done something else. and you just chose not to. You took the easy way out. So it looks fine. It's a jersey. Yes, it's a good looking jersey, but in terms of let's do reverse retro again and let's do something different, it's not that.
I love the look of this jersey, and talking with Audie on Game Over Calgary the other night, we kind of threw out the idea of if you were able to modify both reverse retros just enough, right, that you could reintroduce them as kind of how Anaheim in the mid 90s, later 90s had a home and away alternate.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that with Minnesota, and because Minnesota loves their North Stars still to this day, right? Which is why these jerseys fly off the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the idea of that. Like you said, it is just, well, you kind of did that already. Like, let's try something new, but it does still look like a great jersey. I think it would have been interesting to see this striping as the modern colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that could have been cool. So
do that, and I would love it. It would be way higher. But
for me, though, because it's not just a jersey, it does still look really good. It's a 3 out of 5 for me, just right in the middle. So
that's fair. Okay, where to next?
Next up, we have the Montreal Canadiens, who again haven't been able to, or haven't changed their look too much throughout history, but harken back more to their Montreal roots and a little bit more with the Expos, who loved this powder blue for their base.
Yeah, so when I initially saw it, I almost vomited all over my desk at work. Which
okay.
But
that's a little harsh description.
A little violent. But then I read like, oh, we wanted to introduce the navy blue because Montreal Expos, this is the color of Montreal, maybe of their flag or something. Like it just represents Montreal. Then I was like, okay, that makes sense, because I just thought like they took their same jersey and they were like, let's just spin a color wheel, whatever it lands on, that's what we're changing the base to. And I was like, why would you do light blue, your regular blue, and then red? That just doesn't work. But then when I actually read there was a reason behind it and not just like a random color, given the fact that they don't have a lot of other things to go to, it's okay. It's the best they could have done given their history. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's fine. I kind of the vomited all over my desk is a little bit of an overreaction because it's not that bad. But 3 out of 5. What do you think, Nate?
How I was talking about the which jersey was it that I was talking about that I appreciated the solid color? Or we were talking off air about it, I think.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what it was though.
Yeah, this is where it would have been nice, I think, for Montreal to do a solid color for the jerseys specifically. Instead of the white bands around it, I would have liked to see them as red ones. I think that just would have popped a little bit more. Or gone full Expos and had red numbers on this. There's there's a lack of red in this jersey. Otherwise, it's a good look, I think. Again, you're limited by your history and you haven't done a whole lot. So I'm sure this will look great on the ice, but as a jersey on its own, reminds me of the fashion jerseys by Starter in the 90s. It's a 2 out of 5 for me.
Fair.
All right, next up, the Nashville Predators, and this one was their original third jersey as well, from 2001 to 2007.
Oh wow, that was a long time, actually.
The mustard jersey, as it's called.
Okay,
it was a really gross shade of yellow.
Okay, I always thought it was more of I thought this jersey was the navy blue with like as a base.
No, it wasn't.
No, okay.
Here, you know what? I'll pull it down for a second. You can talk about it, but I will. I'll pull up the original jersey here.
Okay, sounds good.
It also will help to make my point.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I'd actually thought it was a dark blue. So that's kind of what I was basing the reverse retro feel off of. But I mean, my point still stands, and I'm not going to change its ranking. I had it at a 4 out of 5 at the very end of the 4 out of 5. Just because it's not like too different and it's just okay. But I do like the logo. It's unique to sports, I guess, having like a scary logo in a way. And then they just like made the yellow better. So it's good. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
This one I have as a 1 out of 5 because this feels lazy to me. Why can't I find a big picture of this?
The one you've got there is fine. Yeah, I think.
Okay, here. This is a better one. It's not great quality.
That's good enough.
Okay, here we go. This is the original jersey.
Okay.
And yes, there is some like digital distortion to it, but like that was the shade it was. And then you made it your brighter yellow. All you did was give this jersey just an update. You didn't flip around anything. Nashville fans wanted this jersey in a navy base, and maybe that's where you were getting the confusion.
That could be it.
Because there was a massive call out for it. Nashville, you went halfway on this one. If you're gonna bring back the kind of CGI saber tooth, whatever you want to call this, like you can kind of see that like 90s 2000 like horrible CG kind of shading to it.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. If you're gonna go out and you're gonna bring this jersey back, you got to make it worthwhile, I think, for everybody. And this doesn't do it for me. I have it as a 1.
Seeing the original now and then how little effort they put in, I might have to do a quick update before you post these on social media to put it lower. I don't know where. I mean, I guess given my, well, no, I'd probably put it in my C's get degrees 2 out of 5, along with Columbus there, and some of the other jerseys. Yeah, no, it deserves to be down at the 2 out of 5. So I'll change that. But if the original was the navy blue and then they did this, that's what I was basing it off of. So my error there, 2 out of 5.
All right. Next up, we have the New Jersey Devils, who are the second team to harken back to the Colorado Rockies, and kind of the Kansas City Scouts a little bit, just with the color palette being similar for both teams there. But the Colorado Rockies was the team that moved from Colorado to New Jersey to become the Devils.
Yeah, which I think is great. I love it. Like I kind of mentioned with the Colorado jersey, I love the color scheme. I think applying it to the New Jersey colors works really well because the logo's similar but not too different. I think the white base works quite nicely, actually. I didn't even really notice it was an away jersey until just now, honestly. And so I think I love it. Well, I don't think I know I love it. I had it as my number 5 ranked jersey, 5 out of 5, home run. Love it.
All right. I have this as a 3 out of 5 because it does still look good. Don't get me wrong. Like I like the look of this jersey, but I think you missed an opportunity that fans have wanted for and are almost still calling out, even though New Jersey tried to. You missed out on the chance to do a black jersey, I think. Don't get me started on the New Jersey jersey, which is just a ripoff of Chicago. Chris at Aesthetics actually does a great article about that and like pulls apart the pieces of history that they're talking about, and it's just like none of this history is actually your own. Besides the fact that the team it's based on was in Newark, but they just wore Chicago copies. Yeah, you missed the chance to do a black jersey of the Brodeur era, I think, which would have been fantastic, and that's why I say New Jersey fans have asked for it for a very long time. You had the chance with this program to do it. You missed the mark. This is still a great jersey, though, so I have it right in the middle at 3 out of 5.
Fair. The black jersey would be like, I think, too easy because like we have so many black jerseys again, like I've already talked about.
It's too easy, but how good would it have looked?
It would have looked fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Exactly. I think they should do it eventually, but now's not the time. If you have the power to do a reverse retro with like funky colors, then I would prefer this over just.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So, and again, I don't hate this jersey. This is still a very nice jersey, but I'm just like you missed a good opportunity here.
Yeah, the 5 out of 5 is in terms of the definition of the program. I guess, for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Ottawa.
Next up
yeah, we got all the New Yorks.
is the New York Islanders, who are returning back to the fishermen of the 90s that I'm sure fans would like to forget what was going on at that time. Had an owner or somebody like basically owning the team that did not have any money to do so whatsoever. If you don't know what I'm talking about, actually, there's a great it was like Sportsnet, ESPN, like half-hour documentary on it. Go check it out. It should be on ESPN Plus or TSN Plus, like the digital platform, if you have either of those. But yeah, going back to the 90s with the fisherman logo. So
yeah, I like it. I know that fans are over the moon about it as well. It's kind of like it's more of an update, I guess, on the original fisherman look, but it's enough of an update that it's not just like we just want to re-release this jersey kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I had this at a 4 out of 5, kind of in the middle of the 4 out of 5 tier for me. And yeah, I just think it works. Especially the more curved striping in a way, like it's just more fluid. So I think it's I just think it works. Yeah.
I have this one as a 2 out of 5. I was originally actually, like, when I was hearing these rumors, saving up money, this was going to be one of the jerseys that I bought. But seeing the actual thing come to life, I'm kind of glad I didn't. In terms of the program, this doesn't do it for me. You have to have the original crazy wave striping and numbering, I think, to make this work for me. Talking with Matt McElroy about it as well, he was like, well, then you're just asking for the original jersey back. I'm like, no, you could have taken that look and done the like the teal version of it or an orange version of it. That could have been a lot of fun, I think.
That's true.
You know, I might still have to see if I can scrounge up money somehow for this jersey, because it does still look good as a modernization of that to kind of simplify it a little bit more, make it a little bit nicer. It does definitely work. In terms of the program, though, you did too much to it. I have it at a 2 out of 5 in terms of reverse retro.
Fair enough. Where to now? I guess the other New York, right?
Yeah, next up is the Rangers, who once again return to Lady Liberty.
So it's a nice look. It's a nice jersey, but again, pretty much the same complaints I have about Calgary, who I also have in this tier, and Minnesota, who I also have in this tier. It's a 2 out of 5 because you took what you did last year and you just changed one thing. You went from the dark blue to your current blue, and you just could have done something else. You took the easy way out. It's a nice jersey, but it's not creative enough as a let's do reverse retro again. This was so exciting last time, you know?
Yeah, fair enough.
Again, my C's get degrees tier. Sorry to cut you off, but my C's get degrees tier. Like you did a little bit and you're like, you know what? That's good enough. I'm going to pass on it. So
yeah, this one I have at a 3 out of 5. I do like the look of this jersey, but there's a couple other things that you could have tried. I think something off of like a Winter Classic jersey could have been really fun.
Agreed.
I know blue shirt fans, Rangers fans are not going to like this. It was kind of divisive when a concept of mine of this idea got posted on Aesthetics. This is the kind of program that you can go balls to the walls with, and red base jersey could have been interesting. So, and there was a red version of this jersey for like those fashion jerseys I was talking about from the 90s with Starker. And it does look really cool, I think. So if you did that, you would have won me over a little bit more. It does still look great though, but you missed an opportunity here. 3 out of 5.
Fair. Yeah.
All right, next up is the Ottawa Senators with this alternate jersey that goes back to early days as well. What years exactly again? 1997 to 2007. And this kind of went in and out between alternate to home jersey. Yeah. Or sorry,
Yeah.
it went alternate to home jersey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I really like this jersey just in general. The nice thick juicy numbers on the arms are just
the
so
numbers are
iconic
nice.
for me. I love that. Doesn't entirely fit the program though, so it pains me to put this at a 2 out of 5. Top end of my 2 out of 5. Nice jersey, but just not reverse retro enough.
This is a jersey that's just missing a little bit of white for me. If you had put the white in the center or had, because where the red stripes are, that was white on the original one.
Yeah. Hell, you could even do gold because that's new for the centers.
Yeah.
Like you could have done something a little more out of the box.
Yeah. I like the idea on the Adidas template, the body striping doesn't work as much for me, but it was an interesting striping style to start with. My thing here, though, again, going back to balls to the walls, the shoulder logo, which was the first attempt at like the 3D Centurion logo, that was the original crest on the front of this jersey and was that its entire original time. And that logo stares into your soul. It does not take its eyes off you.
Yeah.
This feels safe going back to the original now back again logo and having that one on the shoulders. If they kept that logo there, it would have been better, I think. I have this one at a 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be desired there that you could have just minor tweaks and it would have been good.
Yeah. Changing the logo though would then just kind of make it even more similar to the original jersey, right? So then it's even less reverse retro at least by swapping it to the old ist/current logo. Then it's still like incorporating old and new elements, I guess. So but the logo change, now that you mention it, is the reason I had it at 2 out of 5 instead of 1. So we should be P's, so Pittsburgh. Is that right?
No, Philly first. Which, okay, yes, this is a flip of, I guess, in a way, what they're wearing now, but they are wearing their original jerseys. So there's only so much you can really go off of, I guess. I was just laughing, though, and this is a bit more of a local thing for us again, at a junior team kind of did this look first, actually, and that is our hometown Medicine Hat Tigers. Which if you're watching the stream right now, I'm going to give you some examples here of Rob Niedermeyer wearing this jersey. Pretty close. The only addition that the Tigers, I guess, made was the orange stripe at the bottom instead of the white of Philly that you see there. Worn by Rob Niedermeyer, won a Stanley Cup with the Anaheim Ducks in 2007 there. And if Ducks fans remember this prospect from, was it late 2000s, early 2010s?
About that sounds right. Yeah.
Emerson Edom was also another guy that wore this look. So I was just kind of laughing when I saw it. I was just like, hey, that's like I knew the Tigers one was based off of Philly, but I was like, oh, hey, they just basically did the Tigers jersey now. So it's a lot of black, not enough orange for Philly, I don't think. I have it at a 1 out of 5.
I also have it 1 out of 5. Exact same reason, because of the lack of orange. Some of the pictures that they had of that follow the reverse retro branding, the guy has his arms out, so you don't even really see the base of the sleeves. So I thought there was no orange at all originally.
Whatsoever, yeah.
But still, the orange that they do have isn't enough for me. You didn't try at all. There's, again, you haven't changed your branding, right? But I you know what? This key just sums it up here for me.
What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
I just don't like it. It's my least favorite out of all of these.
I love it. Okay, next up, now we have the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are taking the Robo Penguin look of the 90s, which was this was their white base jersey. from 92 to 2002 and are giving it a little bit of a flip. White to black.
Yeah, which is perfect. Yeah, you did what you were supposed to do, and you brought back a great logo. The chevrons, I love the chevron style striping on any of these retro jerseys. This one's a win for me. It's not the most creative like some of the other ones, so it's a 3 out of 5, but it's a good 3 out of 5. Top end 3 out of
5. Somebody in the aesthetics Discord yesterday, or no, sorry, it was r/hockey jerseys had brought up that, oh hey, I've actually kind of seen this jersey before. Starter did this jersey as their fashion jersey actually.
Cool.
But yeah, this does look like a great look. You could have gone with the gradient version though, which could have been really fun. But because it
like Vancouver did last year.
Yeah, but because it does still look good though, 3 out of 5 for me.
Cool.
Played it just a little safe. It
safe,
looks good, but
enough that you get good marks. Yeah.
Next up, the San Jose Sharks, who are harkening back to the California Golden Seals, the California Seals, the Oakland Seals, whatever name you want to call them. But in particular, I guess this would be the California Golden Seals. This look coming from 1974 to 1976.
If you just released this jersey as like, we're going to do something totally new and modern, here is a white jersey that just says Sharks, I would hate it. But because of the history of the Golden Seals and it kind of being the start of hockey in California, I think it's very, very cool that they went that far back and then just updated the word mark. But like, obviously, it starts and ends with S. There's an A in there, so like there's a lot of similarities even just in the word, but it's different enough. This one knocked it out of the park. It was a bold move by them, I think, but it looks really, really good. It's my 4th favorite jersey, 5 out of 5. Big ol' win for the San Jose Sharks, which is the nicest thing I'm ever going to say about them.
This one I have at a 2 out of 5 because
excuse me,
it's at least a retro idea. I'm again there are some jerseys in here that are that were definitely considered ugly and whatnot, but all you did was just put your own name on it instead. Doesn't quite work as much for me, so I have it at a 2 out of 5, being nice. However, though, as an entire kit, like helmet, gloves, everything, if the rumor is true about trying to bring back the white skates as well, this will become a 5 out of 5 just for the white skates, because I want to see it come back. It would be funny. So yeah,
cool.
All right,
tabs are getting longer, which is good.
Next up, we have the Seattle Kraken, who are harkening back to in Seattle hockey history with the Iron Men of, I gotta double check, but I want to say it was like the 1920s or 40s. Let me double check here. But Carter, your thoughts?
Okay. Yeah. So this is one of 2 teams that get a little bit more leniency because they are very new to the league. It looks retro. It's the logo's the same, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like you could have taken this as an opportunity to add more red, but it's the striping harkens back to, like you said, the Iron Men, way back to the Seattle Metropolitans. So I think it works. It's a 3 out of 5. You did well. Seattle's obviously like the new kid in class that like say would come through in the second half of the year, but the current project is to like take something you did earlier in the year and like in art class and just tweak it a little bit and improve based off of what you've learned. But obviously they didn't do the first project, so the teacher's like, just do a jersey, make it cool and look old, and just do your best. So they get a pass that way, 3 out of 5.
They kind of had to do what Vegas did for the reverse retros as well, because they didn't have a jersey history or much of their own history, where they had to go back to another team that was in their city at one point. So so I did double check. The Iron Men were 1947 to 48 for the PCHL, the Pacific Coast Hockey League there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this is a jersey that, yes, there's a lot of stripes going on, but this one works for me weirdly. And what we were talking about off air was that I think there's just one too many blues in the Seattle jersey striping palette, I guess.
Yep.
If you just had the navy and this seafoam blues or like surf blue, whatever you want to call it, surf green, would be perfect, I think. This jersey I really enjoy. 4 out of 5 for me.
Nice.
And for those who are wanting the Metropolitans to be the basis for this jersey, what I've heard is that the Kraken have a Metropolitans based look kind of, it's something they want to save for something later.
Okay, for Christmas.
Yeah.
Are they going to give away candy canes on the game closest to
like more like an alternate jersey or say like a Winter Classic or something.
Okay,
like
yeah,
so,
which makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to lock it into a reverse retro program. So
yeah,
I get it.
Next up, the St. Louis Blues, who this jersey is actually really interesting. The original jersey has never actually seen NHL ice. This is based off of the first look of the St. Louis Blues that was in newspapers back in 66, 67, before the team started playing. They then updated their jersey to be what the now alternate is based off of. I think the first Winter Classic, that powder blue jersey.
Okay.
So this one actually has never seen NHL ice before. So this will be the first time for it.
I originally did not like this jersey at all. And again, it's the same thing we talked about last year. You're the Blues. How do you have a red-based jersey? How do you have a yellow-based jersey, right?
But this time it works.
This time it works. And especially knowing the history of it too. Because I originally had it pretty low because I was like, you just didn't even try to include blue. But like now that I know that it's a throwback to a prototype jersey, which is sick. That's a ballsy move to do something that very few people have ever seen. I had to put this one up to a 4 out of 5 because it's not, I can't put it with the 5 out of 5 tiers, but it is very, 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 very nice. I like it.
Yeah, this one I have it as a 4 out of 5. This jersey does just look beautiful. Like, as much as the striping can be kind of out there a little bit, it still works as like a modern jersey, I guess. Yeah, the original logo is total mid-60s, mid-60s vibes and that kind of thing. If they were to bring this back as like a 5th jersey for them, I guess, because they have the 90s jerseys for Retro Nights and their original look as the alternate, I don't think anybody would really be disappointed. And yeah, one time that not having blue as the base works for this team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have it as a 4 out of 5. This is a cool jersey, I think.
For sure.
All right. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning going back to 1996 to 99 with their first attempt at a 3rd jersey, the Storm jersey, as it's known as.
This is Reverse Retro 2.0's Wild Wing jersey. You took a jersey that most people hate, and they only like it because it's got it's like a cult following in a way, like a cult classic, I guess, where it's just so bad it's good now kind of thing. Like
it's so out there.
Like look at how stupid we were in the 90s. That's what this jersey says. But the boldness to go back to it and give it the white base so that the blue waves on the bottom really stand out, keeping the yellow lightning bolts on the arms is hilarious. And I'm assuming it's supposed to be rain in the background in a storm. Yeah, like there's just so much working for this jersey. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. I had this one ranked 6th overall, so it's great.
This one I also have as a 5 out of 5. Actually, they managed to make this one look good. Not that I again, this is one of those 90s jerseys that is so outlandish that I like it, I guess. Because there are some, when I say like outlandish jerseys, there are some that are bad. This one just kind of works, especially for a newer team at the time like Tampa Bay, right? You're tapping into a new market, try something new with the look. I have it as a 5 out of 5, and they are using the original logo still. Which they should be. The only thing that bothers me about that logo is that it has 2 different fonts from a design perspective, that's always bugged me.
I hate when people point that out because I don't notice that kind of shit. So when they do, then I can't unsee it, and now I want to put it at a little lower. No, I can't put it lower.
Besides that, though, this is a jersey that I'd like to do a side-by-side comparison of, actually, because the lightning bolts on the sleeves, I think on the original, were sublimated. So if you don't know what sublimation is, it's like it's dye printing into the fabric itself, which is how you're able to come up with a lot of these ideas that are more art pieces in a way.
Yeah.
On this one, though, from the pictures that I was looking at, it's actually stitched on. So I'd just love to see like how much of a weight difference there is, I guess. So
yeah.
And they're going with like the electric numbering as well, still from the originals. It's
home run.
It's fantastic. Yeah. 5 out of 5. All right. Next one is the Toronto Maple Leafs, who they kind of go back to a jersey that they have referenced in the past. So this is kind of based on their 2008 to 2011 alternate, which also was worn as an alternate 2000 to 2007, which looks to be more based on the 1958 to 1967 look of the Maple Leafs, just flipped the blue and white. So another jersey that I think falls victim to, you haven't changed your look a whole lot throughout the years. This is one that genuinely like looks old, looks retro to me. So that's where it does bump it up a slight bit in my head if I were to do like a 1 to 32 ranking. But I do have it as a 2 out of 5 personally, because I'd love to see the Maple Leafs, and they're going to hate this because Montreal or Ottawa colors. You think Maple Leafs, at least for me, you think the Canadian flag, which is red. I want to see a red Maple Leafs jersey.
Yeah.
Just for fun. Because if the Blue Jays can do it, which again, I know they don't have currently, at least, any Canadian rivals or that.
Yeah.
But if the Blue Jays can do it, the Maple Leafs should be able to as well. I think it'd be fun. Even just like a one-off jersey. You wear it less than your St. Pat's jerseys. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, like what Montreal did, where they went to like, oh, let's go to like our city's history, right? Like Toronto is like one of the most like known Canadian cities outside of Canada. Like, yes, Ottawa is the capital.
Yeah.
But Toronto is like, I guess like Canada's city. Like they are the only NBA. They have the only Canadian NBA team. They have the only Canadian MLB team, right? Like they have one of only a few soccer teams, right? So like I agree with you 100%. Like try something new. Like you can do something new with this. Do red in there, because the blue and the white isn't reverse retro. I don't care when the jersey's from. I don't care how fat you make the leaf. It doesn't matter. You're still just making another Maple Leafs jersey. It's not anything new. And they tried adding gray of all colors last year, and that was awful choice.
This one is at least better than last year's.
Yeah, it is. I still have it at number 30 out of 32, so it's still not great. I gave it a 1 out of 5. But if you just, like, to go back to your Canada example, give it a white chest with a red maple leaf, and then arms are red, so that when the players are standing there, they just look like a Canada flag. That would be just so wild and cool for something like this. Not even cool, wild and dorky, but it works for something like this, you know?
Okay, so you got me thinking of how, the Canadians were harkening back to the Expos a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, if they do a Raptors colored
yes,
Leafs jersey, that's what you're thinking? Oh, boy.
That would be cool, actually. And I kind of want to do it now.
Yeah. Black and red with like a dinosaur just stepping on leaves or something. Or a dinosaur hiding in a bush that's covered in
I was going to say you go
leaves.
like,
I don't know.
90s Raptors, like the purple with the red.
Oh, I forgot they did that.
That color, like the mix of those colors works for me. I still want like an original. I'm not much of a basketball fan. I'd love to go to a game though, because like the atmosphere is crazy. I'd love to add like an original Raptors jersey to the collection though. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. like you said, it falls victim to you haven't changed your history and forever. But look at some of these other teams that haven't changed their history, like Montreal. Like you can still find a way to make it cool. So even Chicago and Detroit, like at least they tried. It's a swing and a miss and 3 strikes out, right? But like they tried.
They tried.
The Leafs didn't try. Fuck, do a reverse retro to the Bieber jersey for all I care. It's at least different than blue and white.
It'd be interesting.
Anyways, I could talk about this for a while, so we can move on.
All right. Next up is the Vancouver Canucks, who harken back to the original Vancouver Canucks of the former Western Hockey League that debuted in 1962.
Cool.
Sorry. So before entering the NHL in 1970, the Vancouver Canucks debuted in the former Western Hockey League in 1945 with Johnny Canuck as their logo. I think there's a couple teams that kind of ran by the Canucks and had Johnny Canuck on the crest. The one I saw, I think this jersey specifically, it doesn't say in the write-up here, but if I remember correctly, it's based off of 1967 in particular.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Because the original had a lighter blue, right? Rather than the more navy blue. Is that right?
I think so. I think the colors were just like slightly different. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's not too different that way. Yeah, it's more of a lighter blue rather than the darker navy, I suppose. But I mean, it's what fans wanted, so there's that. It's very retro. The numbers on the front is a nice touch, I think, in terms of retro. It's not the best, but you still went retro and flipped some colors around and went a little bit above and beyond there. So 4 out of 5 for me, which was my you understood the assignment.
Yeah, this one I was a 4 out of 5 as well. Something interesting about this one actually is the numbers will be on the right sleeve and the chest. They won't be on the left sleeve at all.
Oh, cool.
This one there's one color that put it a little bit higher than, like, put it up higher in the rankings for me, and that's that off-white to actually make it look like an old jersey. I do like that. I'm a sucker for the Johnny Canuck logo. How Vancouver hasn't used that yet, like outside of their helmets, basically, is beyond me. This one I have is a 4 out of 5. I like this jersey.
Cool.
All right, we got the Vegas Golden Knights, who, yes, are doing their second reverse retro jersey. No, they're not doing a flip on their gray one or something like that. This one kind of twists the idea of reverse retro by imagining what the team would have looked like in 1995.
Again, they kind of get a pass, like Seattle, for their lack of team history. So, so I like how they interpreted it. I think that's a good way of doing it. And obviously you have to do something a little different than what you did last year. I think they've successfully done that. I originally had them at a 3 out of 5. And I know that we're not throwing the full kit into here. So this kind of influenced my ranking, but not really. The pants are going to have a gold sword on them, similar to how like the Tampa Bay Lightning have like the zigzag pattern and some of the other teams have done. So I do like that, and that sort of bumped it up for me. If they would have included that on the sleeve of the jersey, 5 out of 5, absolutely. I think that they played it a little safe in that way by not adding some of the mid-90s tackiness in a way. But that was until I found out this jersey is gonna frickin' glow in the dark. Are you shitting me? What an idea, man. There is that 90s tack that I frickin' love. Not good enough to put it into 5 out of 5, but holy smokes, is it at the top end, just slightly behind Johnny Canuck in my 4 out of 5 tier, because that is going to be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun jersey for especially with how Vegas likes to do their pregame stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have these jerseys like under bright lights, to absorb as much light as it can to do that glow in the dark effect. Yeah, it's gonna look cool. With the idea in mind of making it look like if they were around in 95, nails it. The fonts of old Vegas hotels, the Excalibur, and I forget what the numbers come from offhand.
Yeah, I don't remember.
My favorite part about this jersey is they really bring to the forefront lesser colors in their palette of black and red a little bit more. And get
and they
rid
don't
of
include the gray because I know you hate the gray.
get rid of the gray. So yeah, for me, I do really like this jersey. I'm not much of a diagonal word across the chest, but again, keeping in mind with the 90s and whatnot, I think this pops straight out of 1995. I think so. I have it as a 4 out of 5.
For sure.
All right, we got 2 left here. We got the Washington Capitals, who are going back to their look of Olaf Kolzig, and also, though, some hard times for Washington Capitals fans before Ovechkin came around, which I was kind of laughing. I think for like throwback jerseys, so Ovechkin's technically worn 3 because I guess he's worn both versions of the original look from the 70s. But the other retro jersey that he's worn, or throwback, was a jersey that he did wear actually with that first reverse retro in his rookie season. So, but yeah, this one goes back to the blue jersey from 95 to 2000 and flips the black and the blue on each other. I'll say it at first, I liked this jersey, but I wasn't as big on it because I feel like Washington set the bar so high with their first one.
Yeah.
But the more I look at it, the more I just appreciate how great this jersey looks. And this is my last 5 out of 5 on my list. This thing looks beautiful, and I wish I could get my hands on one, and I know I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah. I'm breaking some of my own rules again because they did the same jersey as last year or the same style of jersey, I should say, with the Screaming Eagle, but last year's had the modern colors, whereas this one is the old colors but reversed. So if I followed what I did for some of the other teams, it should be down a little lower, 2 out of 5. But yeah, come on, you can't put this that low. You just can't. So it's a 4 out of 5 for me. I think it's very nice.
All right, and the last one here, there we go, is the Winnipeg Jets, who are going back to the 90s, the days of Timo Solani. 1990 to 1996, and throwing on some modern blues onto the classic look.
Yeah, this one just doesn't do it for me. Like, yeah, you follow the definition of reverse retro, but it's on the white away jersey. Like, there's no red in there and you still have red in your current jersey. So why couldn't you put some red in there? Like, it's very similar to their last one too, where like their last one again had a lot of gray in it, but like it just wasn't working. Like, it's just not a fantastic jersey. And this is another one where I'm just like, this isn't a fantastic jersey. You just have a couple different shades of blue on a white jersey, and it's just not nice to look at, I guess. So they tried a little bit better, but it's my second least favorite jersey because nothing is as bad as that Flyers jersey.
This jersey, it still looks good. I like the look of it. I have it as a 3 out of 5. We've seen this look kind of harken back to a little bit already with both heritage jerseys that they've done, which I don't know. It always feels like they're toying with going to that look full time, and I wouldn't be opposed to that. It is a great look. For me though, and I don't know if it's just they feel it's too soon, they're embarrassed by it. I want a Winnipeg throwback to Atlanta, to the good old Thrashers, to the days of Ilya Kovalchuk.
Yeah, why not, right?
And Danny Heatley there. 50 and 07. I think it would be so much fun to do a Thrashers inspired jersey. I also wonder if it's an NHL thing of like, do not go anywhere near that, because it almost feels like an embarrassment on the NHL's part.
More embarrassing than the Arizona Coyotes.
Don't know, man. So, yeah, this is still a great jersey, though, I think. But for me, it just leaves something to be desired. And the lack of red, like just a touch of red would help pop this a little bit more.
Yeah.
Even if it was just red around the numbers, that would be great. I have it as a 3 out of 5.
Yeah. Again, like they're not quite on the level as Toronto, obviously, but they really pride themselves on being like a Canadian market.
Yeah.
Like the red is in there because they're like, we are the North. Like that's kind of their thing. Like, I know that's the Toronto Raptors, right? But like True North.
Are we the North? But yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry.
Yeah. But no,
like,
that's that idea.
So
yeah.
it's like, why wouldn't you put the red in there, especially when it is a vintage color for you and it's in your modern jersey and your team is owned by True North. Like it's all about North and all about Canada, and you guys are cold as shit, which means you're Canadian. So like that's I agree. So
there was some artwork that got out as well of a proposed look for the first round of reverse retros that took this jersey, but it was red based. That would have been fun to see as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So this kind of feels just like playing it safe again. It looks good, but just a little safe in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, all right. So yeah, that is all 32 jerseys.
In no less than an hour and a half.
Yeah, we took way longer than we tried to keep it short, but we were just like, we wanted to talk about these. So
yeah,
hopefully if you're still listening to this at this point, thank you very much for listening and giving a shit what we think about it.
Yeah, right. Let us know your thoughts too, though. If you're gonna get an Anaheim jersey, who you're gonna get on it, if you're gonna get a name, some of your other favorites, that would be fantastic to let us know at Quack Report Pod or down in the comments of the YouTube video or whatever.
Yeah, so I am pulling up right now. So Carter, here are your rankings that you at least gave to me here.
Yeah. I'll move Nashville down, but
if you want to read it off quick, go ahead. We'll go 5 to 1.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and mine, I tried my best to do 1 to 32 as well, so I ranked kind of within the tier, subject to change day by day, but as of today. So I had Florida, Arizona, Los Angeles, San Jose, Nashville, Tampa Bay, and Anaheim. Ranking up my 5 out of 5, Vancouver, Vegas, St. Louis, Washington, New York, Islanders, Colorado, Edmonton, Buffalo, and Nashville as my 4 out of 5, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Dallas, Montreal, and Boston as my 3 out of 5, Ottawa, Montreal, Calgary, the New York Rangers, and Columbus is 2 out of 5, and my bottom of the barrel, why even bother tier of 1 out of 5, I have Carolina, Chicago, Detroit, Toronto, Winnipeg, and Philadelphia.
All right. And then for myself at the top of the list, 5 out of 5, Anaheim, Boston, Calgary, Edmonton, Tampa, and Washington. 4 out of 5, LA, Dallas, Vegas, Seattle, St. Louis, Buffalo, and Vancouver. 3 out of 5, Winnipeg, Arizona, Pittsburgh, New Jersey, Minnesota, Colorado, and the Rangers. 2 out of 5, the Islanders, the San Jose, Detroit, Toronto, Montreal, and Carolina. And then 1 out of 5, Ottawa, Nashville, Columbus, Philadelphia, Florida, and Chicago.
I think the only ones we agreed on in the same tiers were Anaheim, Tampa, Vegas, Vancouver. I think
Pittsburgh.
Oh yes, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia in the bottom tier, Chicago in the bottom tier.
Yeah.
And
Philly.
Yeah, I counted them. So 7.
Okay.
We agreed on 7. And a lot of them are close too, like within 1 tier difference. But those are the ones that were exactly the
7
same.
out of 32 actually, like agreeing out of 5. But not bad.
It's not bad. Yeah. I like how evenly spread out yours are too. Like it's as close as you can get, really. So
completely unintentional as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, so That's our rankings of the reverse retro jerseys, and I wish we could do this all again, but I don't know. I would love for whoever picks up the NHL jersey sponsor, like, or contract, whatever, to be able to continue on this idea of the reverse retro program, but probably not. Maybe we'll see something new though, because I know, like, different leagues do like Color Rush or like kind of based on their cities or that kind of thing. So I'm sure we'll see something else because jerseys sell. We all know that.
Oh,
so
yes. Yeah.
If it makes the NHL money, the NHL is going to try to do it most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, for sure. So that'll be fun whenever that comes around.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up the episode here, we are going to do some quick preview, or I guess a quick preview, because we only have one game coming up, and a prediction on the Tampa Bay Lightning game, which again, we're doing a watch along for on the THPN YouTube channel. 7 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday is when the Anaheim Ducks will wrap up their road trip against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we will see how that goes. Although, to be fair, the Lightning haven't had a hot start to the season.
No, I think they're 1-3?
At the time sounds right. Recording. Yeah, something like that. I don't know for sure. So I guess we can have a look. We were so focused on the reverse retros, we didn't prepare this necessarily. No, that's not what I want.
Yeah, I believe I saw that they were 1-3 this morning. So.
Yeah, that sounds right. And
or maybe
they're 3-3 now.
Oh, 3-3 now. Okay,
you're right. So they were 1-3 at one point. So maybe they're figuring their stuff out there. But I mean, hopefully we get the
team though. You can't just look at their record and know what kind of team they are, because they've come out and said, as long as we make the playoffs, it doesn't matter what spot.
Yeah, and
so that's where it's terrifying, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the roster's not too different from previous or from last year. Not really. Got a couple of injuries in Anthony Cirelli, Zach Bogosian, Eric Chernak. So kind of throughout the lineup. Oh, who else? Philip Myers. But I mean, they're still a deep team. They are an elite offensive powerhouse. It's going to be a tough battle for the Ducks.
Yeah, exactly. I am not looking forward to it. The thing that's going to make it better is that we're doing it as a watch along. So everyone, if you're a Ducks fan, can just be in pain with us. Everyone else can laugh at us. Totally fine. We're just going to have a good time with everybody.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
That's what we're there for. So
yeah.
But I'm as just a game on its own though, I'm not overly looking forward to this. Score prediction, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna hope that John Gibson's doing okay still after the game against Boston there. Oh man,
couple nights of rest.
I'm gonna go 5-2 for Tampa, because just they're offensive. They're a powerhouse.
Yeah,
I don't want to see another loss, but it feels almost inevitable, but just how these two teams are.
Yeah, it's also the end of a long road trip, right? Which is hard to get a win for. So
they'll be back home.
Oh, for this? Oh, right, yeah, because the Detroit is the end. Okay, so never mind. That kind of changes my thought process. Just a slight bit, maybe not enough to make a difference in the score, but I think, I mean, you're back home, I guess, so maybe you're feeling it with the crowd, because I mean, your last home game like 2 weeks ago was a exciting win. It's early in the season, so fans are actually using their tickets. I honestly don't know. This is really tough. I'm saying that it's going to be 5-4 for Tampa.
Ooh, tight game. Okay.
Sorry. I got to look one other thing. I got to know if we have a chance of seeing Brian Elliott, the backup goalie for Tampa Bay. Like if there's any back-to-back situation. They are in LA on Tuesday. I think you play Vasilevsky against LA. I think Anaheim gets Brian Elliott. My 5-4 prediction seems a lot. Not that Brian Elliott's a bad goalie, but he's not Andrei Vasilevsky. He's an average goalie, right? Not too elite. So that makes my 5-4 prediction. It makes me feel a little better about that. Backup goalie, second half of a back-to-back.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, that's what I'm going with.
All right, sounds good.
See how she goes there. Okay, I guess that's all we have for the episode. Unless Nate, you want to add anything else to this beefy episode here?
Nothing.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I think we covered it all. Hope that we see lots of you in the watch along on Wednesday. It's going to be a ton of fun. Win or lose, it's always a great time. And then we'll be live afterwards to give some post-game reaction to the Tampa Bay Lightning on our YouTube channel. The Quack Report is what you can search on YouTube to find that until we can get a handle with them. And yeah, Nate, where can people tell you about their Halloween costumes or rip your reverse retro rankings?
You can rip my take on the Florida Panthers jersey in particular on Twitter at Tatenomas, TATENHOMAS.
Yeah, and you can do the same for me with my reverse retro tier list at Carter_Potts, POTTS_97. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Hope you have a good start to your week. Go Ducks, go, and we'll see you next time.